Hey guys, Sweet Daddy Cheeks, Fucus 101 here, and today I'm doing my review on The Dark Knight Rises, the final installment of Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, and I gotta say, this is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. Um, it, it was just incredible. The acting was amazing. The sets were so elaborate. And it was just like a ride the whole time. The movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes, but even though it's almost 3 hours, I would have wanted it to be longer than that because not once was I ever not interested in the movie. It kept my eyes wide open the whole time. I didn't want to look away for a second because I didn't want to miss anything. Now, this video is going to have a spoiler section at the end, so for anyone that hasn't seen the movie yet, don't watch the end of this review. Also, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I don't know why you would watch any reviews, because I'd recommend going into the movie with an open mind without anybody else's opinion, so you can just have your own original thoughts and not think like, whoa, well, he said it wasn't that good, so I don't know, my expectations aren't very high for it. But I have nothing but praise for this movie. I am a diehard Spider-Man fan, but sorry, Spidey, Bats destroyed you. This movie was so good. Before I get into the cast, I'm just going to give you a little brief overview of what's going on in the movie. If you've seen the 6-minute prologue before the Mission Impossible 4, it's the scene where Bane crashes the plane and takes control of like everything. He takes that guy, the doctor. But basically, if you remember at the end of The Dark Knight, Two-Face is holding Commissioner Gordon's son hostage, and Batman tackles him off of the top of that structure, and they end up falling, and Two-Face breaks his neck, and he dies. And then Batman goes on the run, and he saved the life of Commissioner Gordon's son. In the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises, Commissioner Gordon lies to Gotham City, telling them that Batman killed Harvey Dent. So he made up a whole story about how Two-Face never tried to kill his son, and he just threw Batman under the bus, and Gotham City hates Batman now. The movie takes place 8 years after The Dark Knight ended, and Batman and Bruce Wayne haven't been seen in 8 years. Bruce Wayne stays cooped up in his house and never comes out. He also is injured. He has to walk with a cane because his knees are really messed up, and he's got like a big beard going on, and he just looks in really bad shape. So you can tell he hasn't been doing anything in a while. If we go to the cast, of course, you got Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne and Batman, and he's great. He's awesome. If you remember from The Dark Knight how ridiculous his voice was, how he was always like, it was just guttural sounds. But they actually improved it a lot in this movie. It sounds very similar to the Batman Begins voice, which I like a lot. There are a few scenes where he does add a little bit of the and they are a little silly, but they're not that bad. You got Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, who is really good in this movie. Tom Hardy as Bane. Oh my God, he's probably one of the coolest villains in a movie ever. He is a beast. He kills so many people, just crushing their skulls, breaking necks, shooting people. And his voice is a little goofy in the movie, but I actually like it. You gotta get used to it after you hear it at first in the movie, but you get used to it, and he's just a badass dude. He is a. I love the fact that he's extremely intelligent. He's a mental threat to Batman, but he's also a physical threat because he's huge. He's strong. He's bigger than Batman, and I'll get on to why he's also a physical threat. But you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt as John Blake, who's probably one of my favorite characters in the whole movie. You think he's just going to be this cop side character, but oh no. He's a lot more than that. He's a lot of help in the movie. He's a really strong character, and I love that. You got Anne Hathaway, Selena Kyle, and Catwoman. They never refer to her as Catwoman in the movie, but you know she's Catwoman. She was great. She was, at first I was like Anne Hathaway. That wouldn't be my first choice as Catwoman, but she kicks major ass, and she's also pretty sexy. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, who's awesome. Michael Caine as Alfred, who isn't in the movie as often, but he's extraordinary. And, yeah, that's really the main cast. And they all just did a fantastic job. Now, Batman also, for some reason, his costume looks better in the movie. I know it's still like all this armor and so many pieces, but it looked better. The bat, that the flying thing that you saw in the trailers, that thing is so sick. At first, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was like really ugly looking, like it looked really weird. But I still think it looks weird, but it is so freaking sick in the movie. It does so many cool things, and it's just awesome. There's not really a lot I can say about the movie without spoiling it. So, I took some notes on what I wanted to review in the non-spoiler section. Sorry guys, I accidentally ended the recording. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I wrote down some things I wanted to talk about in the non-spoiler section. Catwoman, she doesn't use a lot of Catwoman stuff in the movie. Like, she's really athletic, and she kicks ass, like I said. But, she doesn't have the whip, which I like Catwoman with the whip. Getting a little off topic, for those of you that have played the game Arkham City, I honestly think that every villain and character in that game is how they should be in a movie. Because they got those characters in the game so perfect. Like, that is the perfect Catwoman, in my opinion. The perfect Joker, the perfect Mr. Freeze. Bane is a little too big, in my opinion, but other than him, like, just everybody is amazing. Perfect Two-Face. Anyway, back to The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, but other than that, I thought Catwoman was really, really cool. And, she really makes a lot of good use of her cat burglar skills. And I thought that was really cool, how they incorporated a lot of that into the movie. Yeah, but that's basically it for the non-spoiler section. And I highly, highly recommend this movie. For those of you that have not seen the movie but still watch this section, please, right now, just now, go see this movie. Because it is such a fun experience. It is an adventure. Like I said before, it's a ride the whole time. So much fun. The Dark Knight Rises, I give it a 10 out of 10. Because it is fantastic. Better than the Avengers, better than Spider-Man. It's just so good. And I'm not even a diehard Batman fan, but I just thought that Christopher Nolan did such a good job with this movie. Now, I'm getting into the spoiler section, so this is your last chance to leave, so the movie doesn't get wrecked. Okay? Alright. First thing I want to talk about is the motorcycle scene. When they take the hostages from the stock exchange, when Bane and his goons, I guess, are on the motorcycles. That scene was so awesome. Any motorcycle chase is so cool. Even the motorcycle chase in X-Men Origins Wolverine, even though that movie wasn't very good. But that scene was awesome because I thought it was cool seeing Bane ride a motorcycle. I don't know why. Also, the scene where he beats up the people with the motorcycle helmet. Like, typical Bane. And then after he leaves, he takes it from the guy. He's like, "Thank you." But I love that scene because that is the first shot. That is the first scene with Batman in action, and he just comes out of nowhere, and he's just awesome. Also, the first fight scene with Batman and Bane, and that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. And those of you that saw the movie, you know why, because that has one of the most iconic scenes ever in Batman in it. And they did it so perfect. That scene was choreographed so perfectly. It was amazing. I wanted to get up in my seat and start, like, cheering because I was so excited when I saw it. When Bane is just standing there walking towards Batman like, "Mr. Wayne." And he's just got that kind of Bane swagger. Batman knows, like, oh, this guy means business. I might be screwed right now. And Batman is just wailing on him. He's just giving him his all, and Bane isn't getting affected by it one bit. And then Batman uses his little device to shut off all the lights. But Bane still is so good at fighting, and he knows, like, all of Batman's tactics for some reason. Oh, and because he was trained in the League of Shadows, the same as Bruce Wayne. So he knows everything Bruce knows. Or Batman, I guess. And, yeah, so he even beats him in the dark. And he ends up beating, if you watch the scene, if you go see the movie again, throughout the scene, Batman's cowl is actually getting dented. And then finally, Bane cracks his cowl, picks him up over his head, like full arms extended above his head, like a barbell, and just drops him on his knee. And just, oh, it was so perfect. It was just like how it looks like in the comics, like Nightfall or whatever it is, whatever incarnation you're seeing. It was so perfect. And to see, because I didn't have very high hopes for Bane. I thought he didn't look anything like Bane. I thought he sounded goofy. And I didn't think he was going to be good. But, oh my God, I like him better than the Joker. And I know everybody loves the Joker, but I think Bane was just so freaking cool. And he was such a huge threat in the movie that he was just awesome. And that scene was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. Just him breaking his back. Some bad points of the movie that I thought were completely unneeded. Just why? The whole, what the hell's her name? Miranda Tate. Her character was not needed in the movie at all. The whole Talia al Ghul thing, and just having Bane, it ended up being Bane didn't come up with any of this stuff by himself. She was the main villain the whole time. She was the mastermind behind everything. And I thought that was just so ridiculously stupid that Bane, I wanted Bane to be this really intelligent, smart, just, no. Yeah, in the end, he's just some big guy that can beat up Batman. I thought that was just completely stupid, and she dies within 10 minutes by crashing a truck. And Bane's death was so anticlimactic, it was ridiculous. I wanted him... You see Batman and him are fighting in the final scene, which is epic. The huge war between the mercenaries, Bane's mercenaries, and the police of Gotham City. They're all just fighting this huge mosh pit pit of fists. And then Batman and Bane are on opposite sides, just going through, just throwing people around, trying to find each other. And they meet in the middle, and you know, oh my God, this is some bad, the good, bad, and the ugly shit right here. They're looking at each other like, huh, round two. And then they just go at it. And Batman is better this time. He is beating on Bane, and he's just aiming for Bane's mask the whole time. And he ends up popping out the little tubes, and like the stuff is spraying out, and Bane... I kind of felt bad for Bane in this scene because he's fighting Batman, but also trying to fix his mask at the same time. I mean, he killed a lot. He killed a lot of people in the movie. A lot of people. But you can't help but feel bad because it's kind of not fair. Batman and him had a fair fight in the first round, and Bane won. But in this one, Batman is just aiming for his weakness the whole time. Which, whatever, it's a street fight. It doesn't matter, but still, you can't help but feel bad. And then he's on the ground, kind of just all in a little ball on the ground, and his mask is messed up. And then Talia comes out of nowhere and stabs Batman. Like, what the hell? She fixes Bane's mask, and then she gets away, and Bane is like, I guess I have to kill you now. And he puts a shotgun to Batman's head, and then Catwoman just shoots him with the bat pod, and he flies across the room, and that's it. That's the last you see of Bane, and it was so dumb. He should have died by, oh God, and one of the coolest scenes was, you know the scene in the trailer where Bane is like, when Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die. Bane is, this is a scene where Batman's voice gets a little goofy because there's an atom bomb or a nuclear bomb or whatever in Gotham City, and Batman needs to find the trigger from Bane, and he's like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And he's just sounded goofy, but he was just being vicious. And then he's like, where is it? And then Bane tells him where it is, or he's like, tell me where the trigger is. He's like, tell me where the trigger is, then you have my permission to die. And that was just such an epic scene because he just gave Bane a taste of his own medicine. But I wish I had seen Bane die from just the mask running out of, or him not getting enough of the stuff in the mask and he just died. Or him just die some epic way. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I just thought those scenes were kind of not good. And then the epic ending. Batman takes the bomb in the bat, flies over the water, and it blows up, and everybody in Gotham thinks Batman is dead. So it is official, Batman is dead, and Bruce Wayne is also dead because they think that he died in the riot in the city. So they give him a grave site next to his mother and father at Wayne Manor, and Wayne Manor gets turned into a orphanage for boys. And Alfred thinks he failed because he abandoned Bruce earlier in the movie, and he comes back and he's just. This is a really emotional scene for what's his name? Michael Caine. Yeah, and he has a crying scene and it's very emotional. He did a good job, but then you find out at the end that yes, Batman is dead, but Bruce Wayne is very much alive. And the epic finale, which I really hope spins off to new movies because he is perfect. I need to take a little bit to just talk about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, John Blake. Now, John Blake is like a rookie cop in New York City, and he ends up getting a detective status because Commissioner Gordon, as you know, was shot, and he wasn't able to be out in the city. He was in the hospital. So he promotes John Blake to detective. And so he goes around And he's just such a strong character. He has such a strong role in the movie. I just thought he is such a talented actor. If you saw him in 500 Days of Summer, he was really, really good in that, and he was so good in this movie. As I said before, he was one of my favorite characters in the whole movie. And many people expected this, and Christopher Nolan denied it, but it is official that John Blake is Robin. And I wish they ended the movie a little bit differently, because it shows him getting a bag of stuff and from this lady, and he's like, John Blake? Or, sorry, my microphone was down. He's like, John Blake? And she's like, no, you're not in the system, or something. And he's like, oh, then use my full name. And she's like, oh, okay. I like that name, Robin. And I was just like, oh! Because you cannot deny with me that Joseph Gordon-Levitt looks and could be the perfect Robin. And then it shows him getting all this climbing gear, swinging through the waterfall into the Batcave, and he ends up going through the water, and the platform rises, and that's the end of the movie. And you know, oh my God, he's going to be Robin, or Nightwing, or, I don't know, take on the new Batman. But you know he's next. And I wish they ended it with him stepping onto the platform, it rising up, and then the glass case rising up with a Robin suit inside. Or him going to Lucius and saying, like, you know, I'm going to need a few things. And Lucius is like, follow me. Or something like that. That's kind of corny, but I just thought the ending of that movie could not have been better. Them revealing him as Robin was just, it made me just love the movie even more. So, what did you guys think of, oh my God, my voice cracked. What did you guys think of The Dark Knight Rises? I give it a 10 out of 10, 5 stars. It was so awesome. It had some goofy points, some bad points, like the Talia al Ghul was not needed at all. But thank you guys for watching my review. And I'm going to also have a review up of the Superman trailer. That was the Man of Steel trailer that was released before the movie. So stay tuned for that. This is Fucus 101 signing out.